Hello and welcome to Pearl Magazine. In recent years, locally grown vegetables and organic produce have gained popularity in Hong Kong as people pursue a healthier lifestyle. Despite this, local farmers and vendors struggle to sell their produce. April Jo talks to some of them to see what they're doing to get their goods from farm to table while making enough to survive. Lettuce, spinach, carrots, and tomatoes. These are everyday vegetables seen on most dining tables of Hong Kongers and can be found in almost every market stall. It looks like a cabbage to cabbage and lettuce to lettuce comparison, but the difference is huge. How much do consumers really care about where their vegetables are from?
唔知喎，我求其嘅熟人嘅，嗰啲少婆識佢嘅，買慣咗嘅。
佢都話大陸嘅，有時睇自己認為靚嘅就買咩菜食咁啦。
本地菜都有，唔會專登去，即係如果有嘅咪買咯。
Hong Kong has relied on imported food for decades. Government figures show that 90% of the total food supply is imported. According to a 2011 government report, around 92% of vegetables are imported from mainland China. Between 2000 and 2016, local production of vegetables fell from 6.6% to 1.7%. San Hui Market is located in Tuen Mun, in northwest New Territories. Every morning, vendors are busy preparing the vegetables to sell. Shan has been selling vegetables for 10 years. She is also one of the 4 vendors that sells only local produce at this market.
哇！今日有菜心啊，好嘢！
Starting from 8:30 in the morning, farmers bring her their freshly harvested vegetables.
These vegetables are all homegrown by our Hong Kong farmers, mostly from Lam Tay, Long Ku Tan, So Kun Fat, and Yuen Long. They're all near Tuen Mun, so it's convenient for the farmers to deliver their produce to me.
Today, 5 farmers are dropping their produce off with Shan.
Today, I'll help sell vegetables grown by some elderly farmers. And most importantly, they're organic vegetables from Zoe, such as a carrot, bell pepper, some cabbage, and etc. These are almost her last batch for the season, so I've scheduled to sell hers more often.
We've collaborated for almost 10 years. Apart from some consumers coming down and buying at our farm, Shan helps me sell the rest. She's usually able to sell them all.
This takes some pressure off the farmers, but selling isn't easy.
The farmers will call me one night before to tell me what they want to sell. If they propose the same produce, I'll collect from only one farmer. The second one will be put on hold until the next time. When I started out, I was quite anxious because their supplies were too huge to sell out. There was a time I got water spinach and watercress from a few farmers at the same time. It was really hard to handle it.
Shan says the pressure to sell seems to have eased since many farmers have aged and some have passed away. Agricultural land has also shrunk, having been converted into commercial or residential use. Since 2020, 7 square kilometers of rural land in Hong Kong have been actively farmed. There are currently 4,300 farmers today. In 1991, there were 15,200.
Farming is tough work for farmers in Hong Kong. Sometimes they can't even afford fertilizer, not to mention make any profits. If I set the price a bit higher, the farmers can earn more. I'll encourage them to grow more vegetables for people. For example, for this amaranth, I usually buy it at $14 per caddy and sell it at $28, so half-half.
Shan says customers often have little idea of how to identify vegetables which are grown at local farms.
Vendors who sell locally grown vegetables don't like to put it on the label. We prefer to gain popularity from word of mouth. Meanwhile, I feel the homegrown vegetables are more fresh. The farmland in the new territories is small in size, so the produce isn't grown on a large scale. Usually, it's about 8 to 10 caddies at one time.
Sean's stall is acknowledged by the AFCD as selling accredited vegetables. It means the vegetables are grown with good horticultural practices and proper use of pesticides. They are sampled and tested to ensure that there is no excess pesticide residue before distribution at retailer outlets. Accredited vegetables are generally sold at lower prices than organic ones.
What saddens me most is that agriculture in Hong Kong has been in decline. Well-educated people all go to organic farming, but actually people need food at an average price level.
Organic food has gained popularity in recent years. Surveys in the past 5 consecutive years by the HKBU indicate more than half of the population in Hong Kong have bought organic food at one point or another. Lee Ka-hung started to sell homegrown organic vegetables 8 years ago with the mindset of helping farmers earn a better living.
They are facing the problem like shortage of labor, shortage of land. So if they want to sell the product, customer will demand you have the diversity. That's the way we group the farmer together.
Ka-hung started an online shop last August. He works with different farms selling their vegetables on his website. Customers are encouraged to order through it.
Many customers complain they don't think organic produce is easy available on the market. Especially organic vegetables, they're more easy to deteriorate. The sale period is very short. So not many organic shops, they like to provide the vegetable which is organic.
To ensure freshness, Ka-hung insists on selling vegetables collected within 72 hours, and most of the time on the same day.
This morning I come from Kam Tin and I collect some produce from local farmers, the red amaranth and the lettuce and many papaya and the spinach, yeah.
Some of this will be delivered to his customers this afternoon.
They quite scattered, and we have a lot of farms around Kam Tin or Funland. Most of them, they have shortage of the transportation. So usually I will have my motorcycle by myself and pick up their vegetable maybe in the midnight, maybe in the early morning.
Ka-hung gets 3 to 4 orders per day. A logistics firm assists him with deliveries, but he still has to deal with some special cases. Today, he's taking care of 2 deliveries.
Hello, Windy. 係啊，你好啊，我係阿嘉雄啊，你好啊，係啊，一陣間送嗰個 order 俾你啊。
When he calls to reconfirm the order, he only has half a caddy of lettuce available. The customer agrees to fill the other half with spinach. He's also delivering an order to a customer who complained about a previous delivery.
Yesterday, I have an order from Mrs. Lee, and I missed her the tomato because she said our tomato yesterday is overripped, and the kale I missed for her, I not enough the weight. So I now prepare the missing item, and will deliver to her after half hour.
With everything ready, he heads to Mrs. Lee first. Although his website hasn't made money yet, Ka-hung says it is important to let customers know he is honest.
We also want to attract new customers while we will need to keep our existing customer. We will keep on our after service, for example, compensate her, and we'll explain how the product like that, especially organic vegetable, is unlike what they have seen in the supermarket.
For years, farmers markets have been an important channel for selling locally grown vegetables. Since 2011, this farmers market in Meifu opens every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. They sell organic produce only. Around 10 farmers are selling their produce today. In-season produce includes leafy green vegetables, tomatoes, and carrots. Green chili peppers that are rarely found elsewhere can be seen at some stalls.
I come here very often. I'm just walking around looking for anything I like. The vegetables are said to be organic, so sometimes I try some. See if it is really special.
I've bought corn, kale, cabbage, potatoes, and carrots. They're cheaper than the supermarket.
This lady, who has been browsing the produce, says she's been coming here for years. She knows many of the farmers here.
Homegrown vegetables are definitely delicious, while imported vegetables taste good if you eat them locally, but they won't anymore after going through a long time transportation. Some vegetables sold here were picked up 2 or 3 a.m. this morning.
She says she tries to come every weekend to support local farmers.
Sometimes I'll keep the number of the farmers I buy regularly from. I can text them to order, and they will serve me on Wednesday when they provide delivery along the railway. But I don't want them to work so hard. I come here so I can buy more variety.
When we come back, a look at how a food processing kitchen can add value to local produce. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pearl Magazine. The journey from farm to table isn't a simple one in Hong Kong. For local farmers, collecting, distributing, and selling their produce is difficult. As April Jo reports, these farmers must work together to pitch their produce to restaurants and look at ways to process them into new products they can sell.
Hello, 妹姐，做咗生意先。
Lee Ka-hung is meeting with some farmers to pick up their produce.
Sometimes I will go directly to their farm to collect the vegetable, since it's not that convenient. So sometimes I will have some farmer, they will have delivery service. In Meifu, I can easily meet several farmers here.
Lee Ka-hung has been dedicated to selling locally grown vegetables for 8 years and knows the farmers well.
Mrs. Lam is my quite good partner since her honest style and her farm is not small one. And she also employ a worker from mainland and her produce quality is good. She have different variety of vegetable.
唔係啊，嗰日稱仲要稱同嗰啲稱唔同啊，23蚊稱叫3蚊啦，你攞到你個個禮拜都嚟啦。
I come here every week. I rely on regular customers at the farmers market. Otherwise, it's very hard. Business used to be good. It's getting much worse now.
Mrs. Lam also goes to Kam Sheung Road railway station to sell her produce on weekday afternoons. Her prices are lower there because there's no rent to pay. Amy Lee also sells her produce here every Sunday. She has a farm in New Territories.
Usually I can sell out 80% of them. For the remainder, I'll take it to our retail shop in Kowloon City. I'll give it away to those people in need.
For many of them, this is the only place they can sell their produce. Working directly with restaurants has proved tricky since it's difficult for them to maintain supply with demand. But this hotel in Tung Chung is introducing locally grown produce into their restaurants.
Working with smaller farmers will bring some challenges, right? Because the supply and you're dependent on the weather and you're dependent on a lot of different factors. But I would like to also see that as a very positive thing, because what this means is that our chefs basically always have to use the most freshest produce that are available. So we need to keep on changing our buffet offerings, which is great.
Last month, they organized a farmers market on the outdoor terrace where local farmers set up stalls with their produce. Lee Ka-hung attended this fair as well. Today, he's brought vegetables he collected at Mei Fu early this morning. One of his more important goals today is to approach executive chef David Parkin and give him some samples in hope of further collaboration.
I prepared some of our special product. This is the sea grape. Originally it's from Japan, but this is local produce. And also some local fresh egg. And I prepare some, which is the marigold flower. I think it's special for him to know more about the local farm product. Hello.
David.
Yeah. Hello.
Very nice to meet you. Hello again. I want to be a lot more flexible and accommodating in what you have, and then me and my team can produce what you can give us.
Okay.
Rather than I'm telling you what I need.
Okay.
You understand? It's
understand.
more.
This is
passion fruit pickled ginger. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she put the ginger in the pickle. Oh.
Yeah.
David is impressed by the handmade jam so much so that he creates a cinnamon roll with it.
So this is a 4 citrus marmalade. All the citrus is grown in Hong Kong. And there's a very dedicated artisan lady who makes the marmalade, is very passionate. And we just brushed the top of the cinnamon bun with her marmalade.
David and his team incorporate this cinnamon roll into a promotion scheme. 21 bespoke signature items created from local produce will be passed around for guests to try in the restaurant. They're considering showcasing more vegetables in the buffet area.
We have a big responsibility towards our neighbors and towards our farm to table is a very nice thing to say, but to actually execute it is not all that easy. But we love a challenge, and we believe that it is great for our guests, and at the same time, of course, we support these local farmers.
Inside this agro-food processing kitchen in Sha Tao Kok, locally grown produce is converted into packaged food products, such as candy, sauces, and syrups. Farmers hope to add value to their produce through food processing, but it's not that simple.
Most of the issue right now is that farmers lack manpower, so they're not able to scale up. And also, most farmers could not afford a proper kitchen setup. They're not able to get the food processing license. We provide them with facilities, we provide them with the proper kitchen, and we provide them with more resources collectively in the community and able to relieve the pressure of selling their goods in time.
This kitchen is jointly run by Nicola's Social Enterprise and a research center at the University of Hong Kong. The center's project manager, Katie Chick, says apart from collaborating with local farms, they grow crops on their own farm as well.
We have a lot of research and development elements in our project to trying to seek out what is the limitation of growing and how to match the growing pattern with the food processing, procedures. When we have finished the research and we know how to do it, we can transfer the knowledge to the local farmers. It will create a new possibility for the local farms to enlarge their business.
Katie's team is growing crops on a stretch of recultivated farmland at Lai Chi Wo, a remote village located in northeastern New Territories.
We are trying to seek out what is a possible potential crops that can be grown in a very remote farming district. It is very difficult for them to grow the very popular green vegetables like the lettuce because the shelf time is very short. And if the traveling time is too long, then it will make a very high cost of transportation.
The produce they've selected to grow includes ginger and turmeric.
This kind of products, they are not very popular in the market, and their market value as a fresh produce is quite low. So we try to explore a new way to make the ginger, to use the fresh ginger and turmeric into a new agro-food product rather than sell it as a fresh produce. The
processing team is experimenting with how to make ginger into candy.
First, I will cook it for some time, for about 30 minutes, and then we will cook it with sugar and lemon. We are using our own ginger, which grow in lychee wok. Local and fresh ginger have more spicier than the imported ginger.
Then they boil the ginger lemon sugar mixture for 2 to 3 hours. Vivian says this is the second batch of ginger candy. She tries to modify it based on the first batch.
We are trying to keep the original color of the ginger and also having a thinner coating of sugar. And we're trying to do it in a larger scale to reduce the manpower. This is what we just cooked for like about 2 hours, so we are letting it to cool down. And then we are experimenting on the sugar coating, because previously we think the very fine sugar, they will absorb water easily. So this time we are trying to use coarse raw sugar, and one is a mixture of coarse sugar and the sugar that we previously used. So we are trying to see it will let the ginger candy looks drier.
After 4 years of researching and experimenting, they're ready to launch a variety of products.
All of our products are handcraft. We focus on the drinks and paste sauce, like a ginger turmeric paste for cooking. And we also create some new recipes of summer drinks like the lemon sizzle and also the winter melon syrup. That is very suitable for the weather and climate like Hong Kong. We just had our debut as exhibition booth in Tycoon in April. And wow, the response is overwhelming. We're very, very surprised. And at the same time, we're very happy because every person that came to our booth and were very supportive after we told them our story. So we sold quite a lot of products and they're keen to try and keen to know about the story. Initially, at this first stage, we are showcasing our products into more local artisan shops. Because one of the biggest issues with our products is that they're very seasonal. So we cannot provide ongoingly to different big markets. So we need to try out the scale and try out whether people like it and which kind of products are more well received. And then slowly we go into bigger markets.
Despite all these attempts by businesses and farmers, locally grown produce is still not widely sold or accepted in Hong Kong.
I feel lands are disappearing. The government is resuming too much land.
Education is still the way to grow our awareness.
We hope that eventually this kitchen model will be apart just in here, but different areas where there are local farms. And we'll see.
That's our show. Thanks for watching. Next week, we follow the journey of several adopted children in search of their biological parents. See you next week. Good night.